Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
Cyrano is the upteenth adaptation of a French play about a dumbass who convinces a smart guy with a big nose to write letters on his behalf while he shoots his shot at the best looking girl in town. But in this case, the dude with the 4-inch snaz, CyranodeBergerac, has been replaced by a guy who's 4 feet tall. And this time it's a musical. But like the play, it's a period piece set in 1640 Paris. Given that the new movie is full of songs and the play's dialogue was performed in rhyme, I figured I'd act accordingly. When we're introduced to Roxanne, the apple of the dummy's eye, she's gleefully planning to use a rich guy. By going out to a play with a duke she doesn't like, she won't have to ante up for the high ticket price. So not only is this a musical, the plot gets even bigger. It's about two crash test dummies who love a gold digger. Anyway, Cyrano is secretly in love with Roxanne, but he's in the friend zone because he's a short little man. But his low self-esteem only applies to the girls, because he kills a guy on stage in front of half of the world. He dusts off some ruffians who jump him in an alley. They insult him and he sends them on a trip to Death Valley. His legendary game gets the ladies' hearts humming. So a baker asks Cyrano for help with his woman. Roxanne then sends word that she wants to meet up, leading Cyrano to toast with champagne in his cup. But she crushes his dream when she brings up some dude who she saw at the play and now wants to see nude. The guy happens to be everything Cyrano isn't. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and chicks want to kiss him. In Roxanne's opinion, he's as cool as a blizzard. She stalked him and found out that the idiot enlisted. Since Cyrano's in the army, she wants them to be friends. This dingbat agreed because he's going off the deep end. We're supposed to believe Cyrano's pretty bright, but he agreed to this BS, so that can't be right. When the two morons meet, one insults the other, but Cyrano doesn't murder Roxanne's would-be lover. Christian's his name, and his IQ is down. But Cyrano volunteers to ghostwrite for this clown. Meanwhile, the rich duke's still pursuing Roxanne, and he wants to wage war, so she cooks up a plan. She doesn't want Cyrano on the front line and convinces the duke to keep half pint behind. She claims it'll embarrass him. Wait, this can't be right. Oh, Roxanne just wants to save Cyrano's life. Roxanne's pretty devious and nowhere near done. She swears to the Duke that she craves men with guns. Christian, meanwhile, had enough of love letters. He'd like to meet up, get to know Roxanne better. So he fires his mouthpiece, sees Roxanne in person. What starts off with awkwardness ends with her cursing. After learning his lesson to keep Dollface from walking, he begs Buckshot Shorty to do all of his talking. The next scene is the dumbest in the entire play. The Romeo routine Christian pulls for his bae. With Roxanne on her balcony, Cyrano hiding near, one simpleton tells the other what this chick wants to hear. At one point, Cyrano hollers at Roxanne out loud, and she buys it. Does this sound strange to any of you in the crowd? Does she recognize the voice of her friendly cuckold? Nope, she's dumber than he is and her brain's full of mold. This crap actually works, making Christian ecstatic. And he gives slow Roxanne her first kiss while he's at it. But all is not well. See, the Duke sent a letter, and he's on his way back to Roxanne just to wed her. She's so disappointed that the Duke isn't dead. The solution? She just marries Christian instead. Out of spite, the Duke sends his guard off to war, which includes Roxy's husband, his go-between. What's more, Roxanne pressures Cyrano to make her a promise that Christian will write to her. Now this part made me vomit. The cuckolding continues. I'm as speechless as Christian, who figures out who has a secret crush on his vixen. Apparently, Christian's self-esteem's in fact real. He insisted Roxanne be informed of the deal so that she can decide for herself who she loves. Tyrone with no game or a beta male scrub. About 5 minutes later, Christian shot where he stands. Fast forward 3 years, Roxanne still has no man. She lives in a convent, taking care of the sick. Cyrano made it home, but his health's in the pits. He visits the convent like clockwork each week, though he still won't confess why his heart skips a beat. Lucky for him, Roxanne's analyzed clues, and all it took was 3 years to figure out some old news. She finally gets how her friend really feels, and that he wrote the love notes, but he used Christian's seal. Roxanne makes a confession. She loves him as well. And she gives him a kiss, but it ain't hard to tell. Cyrano's kicked the bucket, and his story is done. Roxanne had 2 nitwits, and now she has none. I told you way back, this tale's been done before. And although I hate musicals, this wasn't a bore. I can honestly say that Steve Martin's was worse. That 87 rom-com should have never been dispersed. The only other version that I've seen is a French one with Gerard Depardieu that deserves to be mentioned. Here's a fun fact. In the play, Cyrano's secret loving was weird on 2 levels because Roxanne was his cousin. That's enough for this show. I've taken up too much time. I'm about to log off. I've had enough of this rhyme. Shout out to UTFO.
Fully cinematic.